Welcome to Garden Wise Adventures. My name is Malie, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about how I plan my garden for the year. Now, there are a lot of apps, there's a lot of videos, and a lot of people who've talked about garden planning, but I just wanted to let you know how I do it. Now, when planning a garden, the first thing that I do is think about my priorities. What are my priorities? Why do I want to plant a garden? Now, it's going to be different for everybody. For many years when I was gardening, I was a single mom, and my priorities was just to get veggies in the ground, just to put something in the ground. So when May came around, I would head to the nurseries, figure out what they had, purchase what I wanted, throw it in the ground, and counted it as an absolute win. There was something in the ground. There was no real plan to it. It was just needing to get something in the ground. And that worked for many years because I was a single mom and I didn't have a lot of time. Now that my kids are grown and gone, especially for the last 2 years, my priorities have changed a little bit, and my priorities are to be able to grow as much of the fruits and veggies as I can for the entire year. And for the last 2 years, I've been able to accomplish growing at least 95% of the fruit and vegetables that I eat for the entire year. And so that's going to be my priority this year. Now, your priorities might be a little bit different. Maybe it'll be starting a few containers, but one thing that I would suggest is if you're a new gardener, to start small. Start with just one type of vegetable. When I very first started growing, I only planted one thing, and that was tomatoes, because I really wanted garden tomatoes. It was an epic failure that year, but I learned a lot, and that started a journey. And that was about, let's see, what year was that? It was probably 1992 when I grew my first vegetable, my first tomato. And I continue to grow and learn, but every year my priorities are different, and that is the first thing that you need to do when planning your garden. So once you know what your gardening priorities are, and those priorities are based on what you can realistically do, like I said, start small if it's your first year, then you need to take stock of what you have and what you need to get. Now, I like to start my own seeds. But as I said in the past, I didn't start my own seeds. I actually waited until the nurseries had plants in stock and purchased those. But you need to decide what you have and what you need to get. So I've looked around my grow room, and I actually started planning for this year's worth of growing last year when I started my seeds for my indoor garden. I made sure that I had enough space to start seeds and to be able to grow seedlings on to the size that I need to get them to before I transplant them into the garden. So I do know that I have enough space in my grow room to grow everything I need for next year. The next thing that I needed to do was look at my seeds. So let me show you how I store my seeds, and then we're going to take you over to my computer and show you how I keep track of them. Now, there are many ways to keep track of seeds. I like to use these binders. It's a zippered binder, so I can zip the seed packets in so they don't fall out. And then I use these really large, sports cards holders. And that way, I actually am able to keep track of all my seeds. Now, I have one type of seed in each folder. Sometimes I'll actually even just have one seed in each folder, but I've kind of gone a little overboard in seed purchasing. But I have it divided into seeds that can be grown in the summer, and then halfway through I have my fall seeds, fall and winter seeds. Let's actually say this half is warm season crops, this is cool season crops. Then as we go further back, let's go back further, I have my herbs, and then I have my flowers. So my seed storage system is quite organized, but I do need to know what I have before I go out and start purchasing. So let me take you to my computer and show you how I keep track of everything. So as I said, once we decide our priorities and know the reason that we want to have a garden and have looked at the seeds that we have and know what we want to plant, what I do is I go to my computer and open up this spreadsheet. Now, I'm going to put a link down below where you can go and download this spreadsheet. I have linked it in the blog section of my website, and you can download this for free. And then it's just an Excel spreadsheet, so you can go through and change it up any way you would like, so it's more appropriate for your situation. But anyway, the way I've divided the sheet is I have plants that you can plant in the spring, veggies for the summer, veggies for the fall, and veggies for the winter, because my goal is to have 4 seasons of harvest. And I've been able to do that for the last 4 years. And with all of these veggies, I do have a bunch of information that helps me know when to plant, how to plant, and it's all right here in the same document so that I don't have to look for this information all over the place. Now, at the bottom of this sheet, I actually have divided up everything according to the months of the year, and the weeks, so I know exactly what I need to start and when. So I have seeds that I need to start indoors and seeds to start outdoors. And then I have the time when I should transplant them into the garden. So for example, in January, the second week, which we are a little bit late, we're in the third week of January right now, but we're supposed to start kale, spinach, onions, chijimusai, chard, and leeks. Now this year I may change up what I start, but these are the veggies that I like for an early spring harvest that we can start now. In February, there are things that we can actually plant outdoors in the garden, and lettuce, peas, and mesclun are some of the things that we can direct sow. Once it's March, we can start transplanting things outside. So in February, first week in February, we're going to start cabbage and kohlrabi, celtis, a bunch of different things. And then we can start transplanting those out into the garden the first week in March. So you can kind of see how the plan goes here, but this isn't enough. I'm more of a visual person and I need a little bit more help seeing it visually where everything should go. So I actually created a PDF. If you use Adobe Acrobat, you can use fill and sign so that you can actually add text to a PDF that you've created. Now, I do have another video that I'll link above that goes into detail how I created this, because it is a little bit of an in-depth thing that I don't want to cover in this video. So I'll link that down below so that you can see in depth how I created this. Now you don't have to create a PDF like I did. You can do it in Excel, you can draw it out by hand, any way you want to do it. But I suggest you do it month by month. So I have one for January, one for February and March, all the way through the end of the year. And what this shows is everything that I need to do for that month and where the plants are going to be. So right now, this is January for 2024. I have noted what is in the garden right now, so I know where everything is and what is going to need to be harvested and started. So these are the things that I'd like to start. I may whittle this down, change it a little bit, just depending on my mood at the time. But I know what seeds to start and I know what beds are already full. By February, these are going to be new, so I put in. So the lettuce is going to be put in, peas are going to be put in, and mesclun can be put in. It feels a little bit early to be able to do that in February, but I found that here in Utah, in Zone 7, you can do that. You can actually put the seeds in the bed in early February, and they will sit there and wait until the temperature is right for them to start sprouting. Sometimes they'll sprout in February if it's a warm enough spring, and sometimes they will sprout in March. It just depends on the temperature. And these are very frost hardy, so even if it gets quite cold, they will be just fine sprouting in the garden beds that early. So we have these over here in the in-bed seeding. And then once we hit March, there's a lot that's going to happen. For example, the kale, cabbage, kohlrabi, and chijimusai that are in my beds right now under cover, they will be ready to harvest by late February or early March. And then we're going to be able to start putting in the cabbage, kale, kohlrabi, and collards and all of that we started in February. Because in February we started those. Now, this may change a little bit depending on the weather, but at least this is a good idea so I know where everything is going. And we can start the rotation process of rotating things in and rotating things out so that we can have 4 seasons of harvest. In April it changes again. By May we're starting to get ready to think about the summer crops. By June everything is full of the summer crops. It stays quite the same in July. And then in August we're starting things and getting ready to transplant for our fall crops. And using this method, using a month-by-month method, you can actually know where you're going to have spots open so that you can start planning for 4 seasons of harvest. And I take it all the way through October because we don't plant anything in November and December. So that is how I plan my garden beds. So that's how I plan my gardening season so that I can make sure that my priorities are in place and then I can have a smooth growing season. As I said, my plan is to grow for 4 seasons of harvest, and that takes a little bit more planning than it did when I was younger, when all I wanted to do is just make sure I had veggies in the ground. So you have what you need so that you can have a good year. The other thing that I do is I make sure I know how much fertilizer I'm going to need, at least for the first half of the year, how much compost I'm going to need, and what I need to do to make sure my beds are ready to plant. Now, I do most of that in the fall, so that is already planned for and done. All of my purchases for the fertilizer and compost is done. There may be a few other things that I need to get, but it's all planned for and I know what I need. Now, as I said before, I did upload that spreadsheet onto my website in the blog section so that you guys can go in and download it if you would like. Hopefully that will be helpful to you. Now, my next video is going to be seed planting. I've done a lot of seed planting videos, but I am ready to start planting for my early spring crops, and I'll take you along with that. Then the video after that is going to be how I control insects in my grow room. I've had many different infestations of insects, not to dissuade you to grow indoors, but I'm going to show you how to avoid that, or how I've learned to avoid it, and if you accidentally do get an insect infestation, how to control it. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you. If it has been helpful, I hope you like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.